smooth, sexy jazz, I think, is the closest I can come to putting into words. It's really hard to explain. But
it's full of flavor. In fact, you put a little drop in your mouth and it explodes in flavor.
Fruit bomb. It's a fruit bomb.
It's unforgettable.
What's making this region so successful is the people involved.
Pinot Noir is such a feminine, sexy wine that it just fits into our glass here in San Jose Highlands.
The Lucia Highlands were created due to the fact that we wanted here at Smith & Hook to differentiate our grapes grown on a hill and up to 1,200 feet above sea level from those down in the valley. And now it has turned into a top-of-the-line Pinot in what has probably become America's most successful and exciting Pinot Noir region.
The right varieties in the right place.
But it's become, just this unbelievable quality that's standing out because of where we're from, our terroir. I mean, just being so close to the bay and our sun exposure to the southeast and our sloping, well-drained soils, the fog that rolls in. I mean, just everything's set up, these cool nights, so we have long hang time. It's been the perfect match for Pinot Noir, and we didn't know we had it till probably the mid-90s.
This really, really long hang time. And whenever you can hang grapes out without them going overripe or having adverse weather conditions, you get better flavor, more flavor.
When you have a region like the Santa Lucia Highlands, which is just so perfectly suited for Pinot Noir, it makes it so much easier to make a great bottle of wine.
The AVA itself is a long, narrow strip of about a mile to a mile and a half, almost 2 miles in the widest spot, and it's about 13, 14 miles long in length. It's really ideal conditions for Pinot Noir.
A good friend of mine, Matt Kramer, once said, "A good winemaker amplifies the voice of the earth without disturbing it." And that's what we like to do here.
Pinot Noir is one of the sexiest wines. It pairs with virtually every kind of food you can imagine. It's so versatile, and Pinot Noir it's lush in the mouth.
You can do it with lamb, and it's not a shy wine. It'll stand up to any steak. I love it with grilled seafood, especially salmon. Anything grilled, our wines will stand up.
Off the noses, you pick up these interesting spices out of this appellation, and I think that's what's going to separate us from the world.
Since has been making wine from the Santa Lucia Highlands for nearly 20 years.
We're trying to build in complexity for the connoisseur, but we're just trying to make, build in a lot of yummy factor for the average person that they don't need to know much about it to recognize, hey, this is good.
Black cherry cola, rich fruit, Pinot Noir, and there's no mistaking it. You put your nose to the glass, this is Pinot Noir.
That's, I believe, is why we've risen so fast in such a short time, is because we had all the elements. We just needed to put them together. And, along with guys like Gary Pizzoni, who has some great Pinot Noir clones.
Well, I'm Gary Pizzoni, and I first started planting grapes in 1982. And while I was collecting wine when I was in college in 1975, I was drinking my collection so fast, I figured I better plant a vineyard. Now I stay even.
It's fun working with that guy.
And we're a very tightly knit group here in this valley. We try to help each other as much as possible. There's a great interplay into how to get the best out of our Pinot Noir grapes.
We're good by ourselves, but together we're better.
I always say we're babies of the wine world. I mean, 1973 were the first grapes planted in San Jose Highlands. And you're looking at France, who's been there for 400 years, so we're babies. Probably one of the important things is when the quote-unquote old-timers, Rich Smith and Mickey Hahn and everybody, put together the appellation and did all the government paperwork in 1991.
The distinguishing thing would be that the fruit would stand out. There's always a very recognizable fruit character in Santa Lucia wines.
Gary Francione, to his credit, has farmed out some of his best grapes to some great wineries. They're all the who's who in the Pinot world.
And then in 2001 began Roar, because I felt, I love wine, I love growing grapes, and I thought I could be a better grape grower by making wine.
It's just spectacular stuff that he's doing.
I mean, this place is a gem of California.
These are the nicest wines that I drink.
It's living, and if you can sit down, it's good for your health. So if you can sit down and have a glass of wine with your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, and just have a great moment, an evening that's special because our world is so fast-paced, and just slow down and just live it.
I was sitting in a plane years ago, Air France from Paris out to San Francisco, with a nuclear scientist who was as bright as they come. And he turned around to me and said, you know, you're in the most altruistic business in the world. And I said, well, tell me why. And he said, have you ever opened a good bottle of wine and not shared it with somebody?
Make it fun, because wine should be fun.
Sex is a word, but it's truly a sexy wine. It's the aromas are there. I mean, the spices that come out. Everybody knows when they drink a San Lucia Highland wine, they know it's SLH.